Not too shabby, I'm happy with that. Nice and taut. Well, I've just rolled up at Polish Pete's. This is his whole emporium. He owns the whole lot now. Bless him, I remember when he first started. And it's MOT, the Vanter. Now this is the first MOT I bought it for, and that'd be quite interesting to have a little look underneath, because it's just kind of flat panels. I can't see as they're going to see a lot, but they can test everything else. Hope it passes. It was a nerve-wracking time when you come for an MOT, but judging by the way it drives, I think I'm in with a good chance. And then all I've got to do then is get Tank Nut Dave to adjust my website. So there's all those people who ring up for a prom for me tank limo, and there's only 2 or 3 of them. It works out bloody expensive then, or the other end of the country. What they can do is have one of these instead. Well, I've been sitting on this bench for 7 days now, 7 solid days waiting for taking my Vanter, and I've just handed my keys to a Polish guy who only knows 4 words of English. Oh, I've never heard it from the outside. And this is probably the feeling I'm going to get when Ashley says, Dad, can I borrow the Vanter to rip up Milton Keynes? And it'll probably be quite a scary experience knowing that he's out there doing the business. And yes, maybe I should never have mentioned this Polish insurance, £50 a month, and drive any car you like. Oh, it sounds nice. Never seen it from outside really, only been driving it myself. Well, after a very lazy morning getting me MOT, I think it's only right to blow your boiler, shifting big slabs with lots of concrete stuck on the other side. And this is for Biggie's return to his little home here, and basically he hurt his claw, so he's been in convalescence. But now the great big fat bastard is ready to come back and rip havoc with the people playing on my vehicles. Yes, he's a beautiful dog. We were trying to give him away for years, but you know what? He's really grown on us, and he's really grown as well. Start giving the right amount of food, and they get the right amount of size. That's his house, on stems. Apparently, you don't need planning permission if you do a log cabin, and it's on legs, according to Nigel.
Well, it's finally arrived, and I'm very excited. This is canvas. How jolly very worthy that we kind of noshed together, stacking, and now they stitched it all up with all the straps and bits and pieces. And if it fits, I'll be a very happy boy. And I've also put in lots of these nice little self-tapping bolts and washers for my cushions that are being made. It should all be good. I think it's time to throw it on.
How exciting, deliveries. I couldn't find me little ID plates, so I bought new for the Jeep. And basically I'm putting the soft top on. And this is the next bit. I've done one of these. And I've got 10 of these to go along the front. And the idea is to stretch it a bit tighter each time so you don't get any wrinkles. And it goes over the corners here. One on that bit there, and then one on this piece here. Yes, wish me luck. If I don't get it right, it can look pretty shabby. Well, so far, tight as a drum. And then I've got the bit in the middle and it goes up on cams on the middle one. But I'm going to have to go and buy some nuts and bolts for all these loopy bits I've got here. And these are going to, I've literally got the straps put on the back of the soft top, then I put these in the right place. Then I know it's going to work. But I will have to get some self-tappers. Well, I don't think, maybe even through bolts, I'm not sure. But I don't want crosshead, because you didn't get a lot of crosshead in the Second World War.
It's all coming along, isn't it?
It is.
Nice tight flaps.
Look at that, mate.
Yeah, coming along very well. This is far too tedious for anything I would want to do. But credit to you if you want to.
I'm in by hand because I don't want to bust anything. But the original holes I think have been welded up. And where I've drilled, one or two places, the metal's been a little bit thicker or a little bit tougher. So I'm trying to put these in gently. Actually, I have not talked to you about this yet, but John and Mary Worthing are retiring. Would you like to buy their business? Shall we buy the business?
I don't know if they are.
Sure. They make all the canvases for everything.
Oh.
And they've got all the patterns and all the stuff, and they've got the business, and they've got bookings for goodness knows how long, because they don't turn it out quite as quick as you'd like. Do we diversify?
Maybe. To be continued.
Do we run it down there with their machinists, or do we try and move it up? Not
here?
Too shabby. I'm happy with that. Nice and taut. And then on this piece here, we've got this bit here works on a cam, and it goes whoop, like a champ, and it makes it taller. So the trick now is with these little bits here is to bolt them on along here. But I don't want crosshead, it's got to be flathead. Bolt them all along here. Ah, shame that's in the way. Went round that nicely. And then stress this down nice and tight, then try and do the cam inside and get a very tight look. So, new wheels. New wheels on a 434 because it's going on a one-way holiday. Looking very posh. And if anyone wants 432 wheels reconditioned, we can do them, but we need your old ones, and they've got to be in reasonable condition metal-wise. The less rubber, the better. And then we do an exchange. And is it cheap? No, it's bloody not. But there ain't no way around it. Right, so today's going to be testing. So when I go down to Hydromex to get the bolts for these, I think I ought to take the Vanter, because I've been working on the lights. It was MOT'd yesterday. And I've already had to go in the Jaguar today. Testing purposes. Got to keep testing these old cars. You can't just leave them sitting there waiting for waiting basically for a booking. You've got to use them, but as long as it's for business, it's not a benefit in kind. And I've got to go down to Hydrex some way. I could take the company car, but I fancy testing this. Max, I don't have to remind you, happy wife, happy life.
Indeed.
Now, how are we getting on with these? This whole lot, wheel cylinders, pads, springs, back plates, all the club up, 54 quid for a lightweight Land Rover. And then we needed, what was it, a rebuild kit on the car?
Yeah, rebuild the car.
How much was it?
8.5, 9 quid, something like that.
And how long did it take to get here? Next day,
yesterday afternoon,
overnight.
Yeah, overnight.
Overnight, 8 quid for a rebuild kit on the car. So Kate is going to get her lightweight Land Rover done very, very soon. And winter's coming, and I tell you what, it's got a bloody great big heater in it. And Jackson loves riding in the front. So this will be her winter vehicle. Not all the time, but this will be her fun vehicle for when it's snowing. And Jackson will sit up the front, going to nursery, loving every minute. I haven't told you about how bumpy they are, and we may have to get a set of parabolic springs. And Paddocks do them, and they're nice and bouncy. Other than that, these can be a little bit hard on the back. Now, we're not going to paint it yet, I don't think, but stupid things like, I don't know what's going on here. I think this is when it had a soft top, but all the mechanical bits, we've got the glass in now. CN glass finally got the size right, but I'm going to do all the mechanical stuff and nice seats in the back and all that stuff. And I mean, what's going on here? I'm sure we can do something clever there.
That was
these holes.
aerial mount.
Aerial mount. Well, maybe we'll buy an aerial mount.
This was this.
And we could take that dent out there, and I might even, some of this paint is in the container, so I might even just daub some over it so as it matches. And then when the spring comes, we'll do a splendiferous job on it. A real pucker job. And that wheel on the front, I'm sure we've got some more wheels and tyres like that. Yeah, we'll change the wheel on the front, because that looks like come off a bloody Rolls Royce.
A very old Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I know, yeah, really old. Right, well, back to the soft top, which is going rather nicely. And I'm now stitching on the back bits. And that means I'll be able to put my spare wheel back on the back and my jerry can, and it's kind of taking shape. Now, what we've got to do is give Mike a good beating, because he's responsible for making these seats here, and they're not here yet. And I've got all the screws to put them in. And then I'm just waiting for the wheels to come back, rubbered. So the wheels are rubbered to go inside the tracks. And then she's getting close. Now, I spoke to this company, Prop Store. I think it's called Prop Store. They've got a massive auction going on in London for 4 days, and it's all the things that come off the movies, and it's stupid things like Gladiator's helmet, and that sounds rude, doesn't it? And Jason and the Argonauts. You know, they've got all the little models and things, and they are tens of thousands of pounds. And I mentioned this to them, and they knew all about the gorge. Straight away they said, yeah, the gorge, yeah, it's Sigourney Weaver, we've already got stuff. So what they do is they harvest knickknacks off the film, wait till the film's been out a couple of years, and then they charge a fortune to put the knickknacks in their auction. And I said about this, because this is the track Jeep that goes over the cliff, and they said, have you repainted it? I said, yeah, because it was just in emulsion. And, you've repainted it. So there you go, we've blown the value out of it by repainting it and doing some engineering on it to make it proper. You can't win, can you? Now, attention to detail. I could have put some very nice little bolts in the back here that were crosshead, but I can't have crosshead on the Second World War vehicle. So I actually had to get slot-head domes, and then what I've done is I've ground the dome to be tapered. And it's a lot of pissing around, but it will look good. I have to shorten the screws, so I have to go in with a normal one, and then one I've shortened and ground to a point. Like this little puppy here, this should go in quite nicely now. There we go.
Sorted?
Yeah, getting on, son.
I'm getting there. I ain't got any of the right threads
Ah,
for
right.
my oil pressure switch.
That's never. Oh, your oil pressure. Oh.
I need to make a gauge, but yeah.
1, 2, 3.
It's pretty tight. Pretty tight.
Not bad.
Is that your cam action that you made?
That's my cam action, yes.
It looks very Austin Champy.
It looks very Austin Champy.
Where was your inspiration from?
Could it have been an Austin Champ?
It might have been, yeah, it might have been.
You can't beat a champ. It's
They
getting
did-
there, boys. It's getting there.
Yeah.
We just need wheels now.
Yeah, wheels and the pads in the back. That's Mike's department. Data plates. Now we've got to decide the order of the data plates. That one, and that one. Considering it's a left-handed glove box because it's a right-handed vehicle, and you don't get a lot of right-handed Jeeps. But we're getting there. I've had to make an executive decision.